mate, welcome back to Satisfactory with me, and well, me, yes. Today's episode is, hang on. Or just sync the two videos up. Today's episode is going to be all about not building over here, but destroying over here. Because we've got iron, we've got copper, we've brought them both back to base. I haven't done limestone. That's the only thing I haven't done yet. 300 meters limestone. Let's show me that again. Okay. 280 meters. It's over there anyway. 300 meters limestone. It's that one, or was it another one? There's another one that way. Okay. They're all about a muchness, but we're probably going to go harvest this one, which means I need to, one, go in that direction. Two, I need to pick up basically as much biomass as possible to keep the lights on. No, we've got enough inventory space. So our plan is to come through here and literally smash the E button as often as possible and pick up everything. At the same time, this area is not terribly friendly, so we're definitely going to encounter some natives that are going to need some... It would help if we put the zapper actually in my hand. We better find something to eat real quick. Or we're just going to duck over here really quickly. I think I'm outside of the view of the other character. Nope, I still don't have anything to eat. There we go. Alright, so plan number one is find something to eat to have just a few more hit points. Plan number two is to just, salvage everything. So, we'll have that, please. We'll actually eat those. Thank you. Yeah, just come through here and press E as fast and as often as possible. Pick up all the leaves. Pick up any wood off the ground. Because we need everything to get the lights back on. At the same time, try and work out roughly what limestone is. And if we're at all lucky, we should be able to sort of start building a assembly back. So I'm probably going to do time lapses on and off. Can we see Pride Rock? Oh, yeah, we can just see Pride Rock. So we should be just visible up in the top left-hand corner. I'm willing to bet, because I don't have a chainsaw, there's not going to be a lot happening in the top left-hand corner. Just because I'm not going to have that much of an impact. Unless we actually get to... Yep, we definitely want all the wood. Unless we actually get to the limestone, at which point, we'll be able to see us building it back. The main thing I'm actually looking for is hogs, it seems. I didn't even hear you. Thanks for making me jump out of my seat. Cool. The main thing I'm actually looking for is these branches on the ground, because the wood is worth so much more in the way of biomass than leaves. But yeah, time for a semi-time-lapse thing. We'll see how it goes. One of those things, I just never know how it's going to look until we get into the editing process, which means the video is done. Anyway, with that, I'm going to see you guys on the other end of the time-lapse. And with that, our inventory is full, and we've found a lovely hog who wants to come play. Ow. Probably help if I was standing on level ground. Nope. Done. So yeah, we found the limestone. We're gonna throw down a miner, obviously, and we want to face it the opposite direction, please. All my quick bar items have gone because this is actually not hosted on my computer. It's hosted on the the computer that's taking the video, because that's the only way I could get it to work. I have no idea why, but yeah. We've also found what is possibly our first water source. So one of the changes with Satisfactory is obviously we now have pipes. I have no iron. Never mind. We'll just take this as far as we can, which is not far at all. We'll forget the whole endeavor. We've got quartz already. We'll come back for that. We'll pick up our friendly neighborhood green power slug along the way. And we're going to run back to base. Hi. Bye. So first things first is definitely going to have to dump a little bit of stuff out of my inventory, just so I have some room to move some stuff around. And we don't want those, we don't want those, we don't want that, we don't want those, we don't really need the flowers, nor do we need the sulfur. We have a flashy crafting bench for some reason. And we're just going to go back to handcrafting for just 1 minute. As I said, wood is very, very effective at getting you biomass. We'll dump the leaves, we'll dump the excess wood. We only need 400 of this stuff on us currently. Because we're going to load 200 in there. And we're going to load 200 in there. Oh. There you go, you've already used one. Okay. And that's enough to get the lights back on. After we flick the on switch. So, as you can see, we're already very close to our power limit. But hopefully, if I come into this box and we want to take half your ore and put it into that machine to get that smelter up and running. Hopefully we should have some iron. Not really. Some rods. And the delay in things coming up is because none of this happens locally. So there is an inherent delay between what happens on the server and what happens... Yeah, you don't use the full amount. What happens on the server and what happens on my screen. Alright. Back to the handcrafting bench for just 1 more minute. Just need a little bit of iron. Just a few plates. So, welcome back to audio that might be in the video. It turns out I hit mute last time I went and put in that little time lapse. And then forgot to unmute it. So I was saying, and I might have put this in the editing already. Yeah, whatever. I was saying, our next thing that we're actually going to aim for is logistics. The main reason is we can get splitters and mergers, which means we can straight away take our iron line that we can't feed into 2 smelters, split it and feed it into 2 smelters. On top of that, we can then feed the 1 smelter that's going into the constructor making iron rods, which is overproducing, which is fine because it gives us somewhere we can get a little bit of iron from. We can take the output from here and split it into 2 constructors and then merge them back together, making twice the number of rods. We have options, and we can't do any of the bigger ones yet because we just can't afford the concrete. But this should be enough to get our very first research done.
Milestone reached. Conveyor belts can now merge, split, and lift to increase the complexity and efficiency of your factory. We encourage you to consider more verticality when it comes to factory logistics to streamline short-range transportation. The productivity display will help you measure and improve the productivity of individual buildings to aid with optimization.
So, the productivity display we'll go look at shortly. I've never seen it before. But first thing we're going to do is we're going to throw a splitter in there. We're going to probably run our iron this way, actually. Can I? Thank you. We're going to put in a production, our smelter. We're going to put it here instead. Now I can line up the green lines. Not that it matters too much. Not with how spaghetti this is going to start off being. You have spare power. So you're going to do iron ingots. And we're probably still going to go with our storage system. Just because so early on, everything is so important to us. Hang on. How much do you output? 30 per minute. Second thoughts. We're going to go logistics. A merger. Can I get out of there? I can. So, we have a belt of 60 iron ore. We're going to split. Well, we're going to store it first, just in case. Like that. Then we're going to split that into 230 belts. And then we're going to smelt that at the rate of 30 per minute, because that's as fast as smelter goes. And then we're going to merge those back together into our storage container, which can have that. We're using 30 of that to make iron plate. We're going to production, constructor. Why don't I have... Oh, because I didn't pick that one up. Come here. We're going to drop our next constructor here, which is just going to replace what the old one was doing. Logistics, a splitter, right there. Wrap that belt in there. You're going to do iron rods with a completely separate storage bin. Our storage bins are going to start getting very, very cramped, but that's okay. So, this one's going to use 15 iron per minute, so we still have 15 left over. And our next plan is to get another constructor, which we need reinforced iron plate for, which is a whole new item that we were gifted to start with, a few, just to get us up and running. But now, again, we're going to have to visit our favorite crafting bench to go make some screws by hand, which I know it looks like a bucket of bolts. We're just going to ignore that. To make some reinforced iron plate. And I'm going to need 6 reinforced iron plate, I think, just to start us off. Because our plan is, we've got iron plate. We've got iron rods. Screws, as you saw, need rods to turn into screws. So we're going to put a...
Milestone exchange concluded. Fix-it freighter re-entry complete.
We don't have a freighter re-entry yet. Logistics. Can I get a 4 and a 5? So we're going to put another splitter on here. Run that into there. You're also going to make rods. Which we're going to run into a constructor going in this direction. Only because I'm slowly building myself into a corner. And this one's going to have a storage container in front. And you, sir, come on, are going to make screws. And as it goes, oh, 10 per minute. Okay, in that case, let's go with a merger. No. Alright, let's put our storage container here with our belt there, and then there with a merger there. We're going to bring those rods into there and go away. We'll try this again. Constructor here. You're going to make screws because our rod production is 15 rods per minute, and our screws, come on, wrong tab, that tab, only need 10 rods per minute. So we could just take the excess out of that, shove it in this constructor, then in that storage container. And pro tip, if it ever says 4 of 4, don't hook it up. Just build another power pole and then hook it up. What are you waiting on? You're waiting on power. Look, conveniently, I left a spare power pole. So, we should be bringing in all the iron at 60 per minute. Now, there is a second iron node over there that I need to go get, but we haven't got that far yet. We're splitting that. We're running it into these two machines. It's still running at 60 per second after it comes out of these two machines, merges back together, runs into our first storage container, which can have some extra iron. After that, it runs into this splitter. We're taking 30 and turning them into plates, which is great because we like plates. Plates make up all the belts. We're just going to crouch under. Okay, fine. I'm not going to crouch over. Under. I'm going to jump over the top. We're going to take the other 30 iron ingots, and we're going to run half into one machine, which is only going to use 15. Half into the other machine, which is going to use another 15. We're going to turn them straight into rods, which gives us a grand total of 30 rods per minute, which we're going to take in here, store. What we're not storing, we're going to turn to screws and run them out the back into this machine. And our concrete has arrived. We do have a storage container. Good. And it's going up. So that node from memory was a 60 node. So it's making 60 per second. And our machine can only do 45. It was doing 60 per minute. And our machine can only do 45 per minute. So we need to either spend the money on a second constructor to make concrete faster, which would probably be helpful. Or we can just suffer the loss and just deal with it for the moment. Copper is coming in at 30 per second and going straight into a smelter at 30 per second, going into storage at 30 per second, getting turned into wire at only 15 per second. So we've already found somewhere else where we can optimize things. Let's go to up and over. Thank you. Let's go to this side of the belt. We're going to put in a splitter if I had some cable. Splitter into a constructor, which I probably can't afford. Oh, I can afford. There we go. I did plan ahead. Into a constructor. You are going to make more wire. But your output... Hang on, what's your output? Your output can actually be merged in there. And power wire... What doesn't have power? Let's put a power pole here. Oh, I'm out of concrete. Okay. Because we've started automating things, concrete now becomes run over the box and pick up a stack. You don't have power, you don't have power. We're going to pull that power cable and we're going to run it to here instead and then into both these machines. Yep, we're good to go. You guys are both now producing cable at 30 per minute total, which we're going to run into here. And then the next thing I want is another constructor, which I cannot afford. Back to that good old craft bench. Why can't I afford those? I need screws. They're now automated. Somewhere in this spaghetti mess. And look, early game, you just need to accept the mess. The mess will get cleaned up after we get foundations and everything else. For the moment, it's literally about just getting your early production up and running. I need to get that second iron node. I need to... I need to get the second iron node. I need to basically have the research we have currently available to us complete. And really, possibly even coal power. I don't know how long it takes to get to coal power now that they've changed all the early game. So we might have spaghetti for a little bit longer than what would be normally acceptable. We will see. But if we come over here... So you two are merged together. If we put another constructor on the end... like so. Run that into there. We want you to do cable, which uses 60 per minute. Okay, that's a problem. That's too much. That'd use the whole belt's worth. So what we're going to do is, rather than run this and this and merge them back together, we're going to have a constructor feeding into a constructor, same as we did with the rods to screws. You're now going to do cable. You're only going to get fed at half speed, but that should be fine. We don't need you to be fed at full speed. We just need you to be fed and make us a little bit of cable when it comes to splitters, power cables, all that sort of stuff. So that's now automated as well. Project. So field research is something that we should just be able to go okay to. So if we throw that in there, throw that in there, throw the iron in there, we need 300 screws and 200 cable. 200 wire. Well, there's the wire done. Can we not get stuck on the corner, please? And under, thank you. And the screw machine. No, not nearly enough screws. You are trying your hardest. Look, I'll give you that much. How many are these we making? We're making 15. So we're making 30. And we're using how many? 10. Okay, I'm not going to tweak it just yet, but I think long term we're probably going to want a second machine making screws. Just take all. Alright. We have 87 screws. We have the wire you wanted. We're just going to go here and hammer out some screws really quickly. We need 115, so it shouldn't take too long. After we get those together, we can throw them in the machine. We'll get the next research done, which will let us build a MAM, which will let us get into the tech tree. We've already picked up a lot of odd resources from around the map, which will be handy in getting the tech tree up and running. And then I don't know what we're going to do next. Probably looking at our next unlock, which is probably going to be the chainsaw. Field research done.
Milestone reached. The molecular analysis machine, referred to as the MAM, will allow R&D to provide new technologies, items, and buildings based on samples collected in the field. To ensure a greater chance of success during exploration, an upgraded tool belt has been provided, as well as an object scanner and beacons. Note: the object scanner requires calibration via the MAM to enable detection of specific objects.
Thank you, Ada. So we've unlocked the next couple of researchers. Well, the man which will let us unlock more researchers, but on top of that, we have unlocked in our production, our equipment workshop, which we really should have one of these built. Let's plop one. Oh, okay, no, I thought I heard something. Let's tuck it, actually, because we can't jump in from this side. Let's tuck it right here. So our equipment workshop lets us build self-improvements, like the Xeno Zapper, our little joink stick, zappy zappy. The portable miners, which we're going to need to set up any future miners. The object scanner, which will let us detect different things around the map. Personally, not a fan of the object scanner. It has its uses, but I'm not a big fan. And beacons, which we can use to mark the map, so we can I can see where JD Play's backup is. He's up there on the top of the hill. I can see where the hub is, so we can put more markers like that out there. So if we find interesting things that we want, we could... I don't have them unlocked. We could definitely mark them on the map so we don't lose them in the future. What was the other thing we wanted? The MAM. That's what I want to build. So the MAM, well, you know what? We might as well go get some cable. Turns out I have none. And we're going to put the MAM, I think, opposite the workshop seems like a good spot. We'll just tuck that in there. And have a look at our research. So, we have lots and lots of different researches that we can unlock. Flower petals, the alien organs, and the alien carapace that we've already picked up. Nutrients, so some of the things that we've found that we've picked up, the power slugs, quartz, and sulfur. So we had a bounding box of fun stuff. Quartz, sulfur, slugs. Nope, that's a piece of limestone. We'll throw that in the machine and make it go away. So that's all we're going to pick up to start with. You, alien organisms, 3 seconds. Start research. Please choose a new tree. Research is finished. Come on,
New
Ada.
recipe unlocked.
Cool.
New research available in the MAM.
Okay, so we can use the alien carapaces to make 100 biomass. So more things we kill, the quicker we can get biomass. Good to know. The next research needs 10 of these things. And it has unlocked more tool belts, a rebar gun, and a... we don't know. You got more to say to us?
New research available in the MAM.
No, you don't have more to say to us. Recipes... no, we didn't get anything else. Alright, back to this one. We can do the alien carapace as well. And turns out we can do the next one as well. Again, X. Parts, biomass. So same story. We can turn the alien organs into 200 bits of biomass, which is at least gives them a use. And then eventually we could get a rebar gun. No, wrong button. I want that button. I want that button. We cannot get that anytime soon. We can get one extra hand slot there, 5 extra inventory slots. So these are going to be very, very important goals to go for. The rebar gun, can I bring that back up, please? The rebar gun requires reinforced iron plates, rotors, which we haven't even unlocked, and a whole bunch of screws. So that's going to be a future goal. Flower petals, we'll start that off real quick. And And sometime in the future, we're going to unlock the color gun, which is something I wouldn't mind unlocking. Actually, that's fairly cheap. We might do that before the episode's done. Nutrients. We have nuts, berries, and mushrooms. Power slugs. We can throw a power slug in the MAM and do the first power slug unlock. Green power slug's done. And then we have slug scanning, yellow power shards, and overclocking. Overclocking is actually really good research. Quartz, again, 3 seconds. This is just from some random quartz I found as we were running around.
New resource added to the resource scanner.
There we go. We can now scan for quartz, which is 500 meters. That's not too bad. To this date, we have no idea what quartz is good for. Silica, it turns out. Oh, 2,000 meters. Okay. We'll throw quartz in here to get quartz crystals. Come on, man. Research, research. Done. And that requires us to actually build something with it, so that's not going to happen. Did it just say new recipes? Yep, so we can now make quartz crystals and silica, along with power shards from our actual sluggy friends. We can now turn them into power shards, which we can't do anything with till we get more research done. Sulfur! Black powder, which requires sulfur and coal. Good news. Come on, let me in. We have some coal. Hey, ma'am. Sulfur. Black powder sounds like a really good idea. Jet in explosives. What can go wrong? Now I need to...
New resource added to the resource scanner.
Make black powder. Sure, we can do that. How much black powder do you want? 13. I think the man wanted 5. 50. Okay, that's going to take a little bit longer to do. But we should also be able to scan for sulfur now. That's not close at all. Alright, so we're going to... That's even less not close. So we're going to end the we're going to end, I think... I can't afford that or that. We're probably going to get color gun unlocked. Do we have 250 screws by now? Probably. It does make 40 per minute, so it's fairly efficient at making heaps and heaps of screws. Yep, we've definitely got that many screws. Did I just hear a hog? I'm gonna go with no. Flower petals. Color gun. Start research. And with that, I'm going to call it here for this episode. So, as always, thank you guys for watching. I do hope you're enjoying our little Satisfactory start. It is a bit of a mess. It will get tidied up. It's just going to take some time. It's going to take some time to get some things organized and tidied up. In the meantime, look, we've got power up and running. We've got iron. We've got some copper. We need to unlock a chainsaw so we can go off and clear more of that forest. And clear the friends out of the forest. to get the extra hand slots and the extra inventory slots. So we've got iron, we've got copper, we've got concrete. We're off to a good start. And with that, I'm going to call it here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Do hope you've enjoyed. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.